Pretty crappy day out today. It's been raining. I wish it would be like it was yesterday though. Very warm and sunny, but of course the weekend comes and it becomes time to rain. I've had about 5 requests, personal messages on YouTube about how the drivetrain is on this 2-stroke tractor. So I'll explain it. It's actually pretty simple. The motor is a 4 horsepower Briggs & Stratton 2-stroke engine. I trash picked it off a Noma push mower. It had no air filter, so this is a 4-stroke Briggs air filter and cover. It had the tank built in like a Briggs Quantum, but when I got this tractor, it came with this big tank from the old motor, so I've installed a fuel filter and just ran it to the motor, so I'd have a lot more fuel capacity. It needs new fuel lines. The motor was much smaller than the stock 7-horse Tecumseh, so I made my own motor mount brackets out of 2 lawnmower blades. I cut them and mounted them to the chassis, and then drilled holes and mounted the motor to the blade, which I guess I just mounted to the chassis. Pretty much like all lawn tractors, it has the front pivot. This is a 7/8 drive pulley. I believe it was off a furnace, I think. And yeah, you can, without this bolt, you can actually unscrew it and it'll come off. Like half of the pulley will come off, the other can stay on. Not sure why that is. Yeah, basically the rest is stock. The stock pulley I think was an 8-inch in the back. My fast Craftsman had a stock was a 7, so I put the 7 on there. I was able to keep the stock belt length and get a tiny bit more speed. Made custom belt keepers out of some copper plumbing and just screwed it on there. The belt was in kind of rough shape because one time it got caught outside of the keeper, so it was fraying. It was a green belt, which I think is a little bit stronger. When you clutch in, as all lawn tractors, it just releases the tension. The tranny is some kind of Peerless 700, I do believe. Throttle setup is a bicycle brake mounted at a little bit of an incline. Now that I've grown quite a bit, my shoes are too big to fit in the space from here to the fender, so I have to put my foot kind of out like this on the fender to give it gas. And the throttle just goes under through the body, and you can see it here. Just kind of hold the hood up. It goes in behind on the governor arm. I only have 2 hands, so I can't display how it pulls, but when it pulls on the arm, it pulls on the butterfly and the carb. I should probably cut this off soon. Just a mower deck engage. This thing had a mower deck, but the motor was toast, so I decided to make it into a project tractor instead. And it's really awesome. Even with the shorter pulley, I've never had this belt pop off before. It took a lot of adjustments to get the brake to work and so that this would not pop off, but it's an awesome tractor. This is for the mower deck. So yeah, I hope that cleared up some problems. I also rev this thing pretty high because it's a 2-stroke, so the only thing I really have to worry about is the flywheel, but I don't rev it that high. I don't know, I can't really remember, but there's now some oil on the shaft. Probably because all the stress this causes. I don't know. It's still an awesome motor. Runs really good too. I gotta do some adjustments to it so that it'll have better like response. It had way better last year. This year it's kind of sluggish. I got some fresh gas to it too. That'll help. The only other thing, the steering only steers this sharp one way, and the other way it goes all the way that way. So there's only really one problem with this. I don't know where the problem is. It's not that big of a deal. The gear is probably not lined up or something, I don't know. So yeah, hope that cleared up some problems, and maybe you guys can build your own if you can be lucky enough to find a Briggs like this. I'm sure a Longboy Duraforce engine would work good too, but who knows.